episode 896.
Hi,
Brain Candy
Suze.
Podcast. Hi, Louise. How are you?
I'm doing so good.
You're walking on sunshine over there.
I am. Yeah, I'm walking on sunshine. I really am.
That's great.
And people are probably like, "Why? What is going on in your life?" Well,
I'm glad you
finally
asked.
I'm so glad you asked. I actually got put on some hormones that I needed. Turns out, testosterone. Woo! The missing link.
Yep.
That was it. I mean,
Wait.
2 days. That'd be funny. Just keep going. 2 days on the stuff, and I am a new person.
Before we started recording, Sarah actually said, I think the phrase was "fuck estrogen."
I mean, it's important too. I do that as well. But
I guess, but what does
Holy
it do?
crap.
Make you nice?
whoo,
That is not that important.
without the balance of testosterone for me, I had this anxiety that was new, this cautious voice in my head, this like, don't do
Trepidation.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
And my doctor said, yeah, that could definitely be a sign of a hormonal imbalance. And
We are screwed, ladies, okay?
wow.
Mother Nature can kick rocks.
Whew.
For real,
Yeah.
because what she set us up with
Oh my God.
is a bill of goods, is what it is. Is
Right,
what
I
it
mean,
is
I
what it
get
is.
it. Like, well, you need to caution, like, taking care of babies, making sure that they don't do anything dangerous. I can see the evolutionary purpose and benefit, but too much of it in an imbalance for me. Oh my God.
Sarah actually said, I wish I had been recording this now that I think about it. You were like, no wonder men don't like us.
I wasn't likable. I was like indecisive, and I'm not saying this is like the cure all for everybody, but for me, I feel like myself again. And that is
That's wonderful.
that is.
But like 2 days on
whole-
testosterone and Sarah hates women.
I'm dating one. I don't hate women. I love them.
Okay,
They're my
okay.
favorite thing in the whole world. I love them
right.
more.
That's
but
right,
now I
okay.
actually want to like.
You're like, I love them.
I love them.
I objectify them.
Yeah, I'm like woohoo, boobies. Yeah, I will tell you. As soon as I gave myself like the permission
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
now,
Be a les.
yes,
You
now,
became a boob man.
oh my God, 100%. And I do all the things that I'm like. I feel like I'm objectifying my girlfriend all the time. I just like want to grab her ass and like stare at myself grabbing her ass in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like I love it.
Yeah. Maybe this will give you compassion for those animals, men.
Yeah, I mean I do. I have compassion for them.
Yeah.
I also feel like wow,
They were born this way.
Yeah, and I get it. I get it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
She can't wait to get
Yes.
name redacted in the back of that Tacoma.
Yeah, I do work. I keep her a little secret. Keep her just to myself.
It's so unnerving, Sarah.
What that I don't show who she is.
Yeah,
and keep her
because this
secret?
is so not how you've operated historically
right.
for our entire relationship.
Right.
And so like I know who she is. And
Right.
so like I'm not in the dark, but like I think about the brainiacs and how they must be like
What?
outraged.
Right. People are
'Cause
like,
you've
wait, I
always
got on
been-
social media for a week. What did I miss? What happened?
Yeah. Do they say that to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Yes, because that's what they did when I moved
Oh
from
yeah.
LA to Pittsburgh
like,
without
what?
explanation.
Yeah.
It was like, did I miss an episode? What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
told her it's good. I'm going to be like celebrities who have kids and don't want to reveal their identity.
Oh my
I've just
God,
put like a
you're gonna
heart
put, like, clown
emoji.
face? Oh.
Yeah. Over like
Yeah.
emoji right over her face and just
Well, what
keep her
does she
secret.
think though? Because I could see that being kind of cool to be the mystery lady,
Yeah.
but I could also see them being like, why are you ashamed? You know,
No, she knows how I am in real life and she's real good. She has her head screwed on real well and knows that
when it counts, you're
that-
loud and proud.
yes, that like in public, in person, she is a big part of my life.
Yeah, you're
But-
demonstrative.
She doesn't need to be like you
Instagram
know like
official.
I mean I think it's more to like she gets to decide. Yeah. And she gets to decide how she wants to use social media, not having any of that forced upon her. Where like, you know, she gets like 1 million billion friend requests and all that stuff just because, you know,
right.
people know who I am.
When's her birthday? Do you know?
Yes, I do. October.
What if you didn't? I'd have to edit that out.
No, I do.
Okay, October.
Yes,
maybe
October 24th.
Maybe October. That could be a little present.
Yeah, like surprise.
We'll
yes, but
if she plays her cards right.
If she plays, well, she's playing them so good. I'll tell you, listeners. Guess what she did for my birthday? She booked a ski weekend for us and rented us a cabin, but not just for me. She invited my siblings as well, which if you know me, you know that those are my favorite people in the whole entire world, and we have so much fun together.
And they drive me crazy.
Even though they can be doofuses.
They are doofuses.
Yes, and we have so much fun together. So she got us all together, and we had a wonderful like family ski weekend with everybody there. And it's especially special or extra special because baby's coming soon. So it's like the last trip that we got with just us.
Baby moon.
Yeah, like a family baby moon. And it felt so personal and exactly what I wanted. And she made Mediterranean feast for first night.
Your favorite.
I know. It was all my favorite things.
Wow, that's really thoughtful.
Yes. And I got to go skiing with, I was snowboarding, they were skiing, with a Paralympian who skis on one leg.
I mean.
And was so good. Took us all over the mountain. Was so phenomenal. We're talking like a Paralympic medalist.
Do you think it's harder than roller skating on one leg?
I think it's comparable. I think you guys you
in the Olympics.
I think you would understand the challenges that he faces in a way that maybe other people would not.
When did he go to the Paralympics?
Oh, that's a good question that I don't know the answer to.
But he's 65 now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So this was like when he was like 30, 20 something?
Maybe. I'd have to double
Probably.
check. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, phenomenal.
I'd love to meet that guy.
And mountain bikes too.
Is he a medalist?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, I'll post a video of this guy. He is absolutely incredible. And I told him, I was like, when I went down the first run with him, I was like, oh my God, you are beautiful to watch. It is like watching ballet. He goes down the whole mountain. Susie, it was like a bucket list item that you don't even know you wanted on your bucket list.
That's a great description.
Absolute, like, it'll change your life kind of experience.
That makes me want to cry a little bit.
Me too. The whole time I was like, this is unbelievable to witness. And he does like 3 big turns and is all the way down the mountain. We're talking 65 miles an hour, like sweeping, gorgeous turns.
I can see why you think
down
it's like
black
ballet.
diamonds. It was amazing. And then you watch other people watch him and he's on one leg. You're like,
crazy.
What? And not complaining about anything. And, I'm like, oh, my feet are tired. I'm like, well, I'll keep that to myself.
Do you know if his one-leggedness was due to injury or birth?
I do not know the answer to that.
Is it usually injury? I mean, is that
often,
stupid?
Yeah. No. Yeah. But he is what they call an AK, above knee. So like I learned all of the different like terminology and and about some like the challenges they have with just finding.
Do you know how like I don't want to do winter sports because of the schlepping?
Right.
Imagine how much more schlepping it is.
Oh my gosh.
On one freaking leg.
So much more schlepping.
He must really love it.
He really does. He really does. And then he said, and only 2 times has he had his leg stolen because down at the bottom, at the base, he like takes off his leg.
Down there?
Because he doesn't need the leg when he skis. He only does.
Steal it.
That's what I said. I said, who on earth steals a leg? And he goes, college kids who are being funny. But he goes,
it's not funny.
And he goes, I always find it. I found it in the parking lot. He's like, I found it later.
They do it to be jackasses, but they don't really want it.
No, they're not taking it. They're just like, to take pictures. I'm like,
he's not mad about it.
this guy has the best attitude that I'm telling you, it'll change your life.
He has 1 leg and 2 hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
Good grief.
I mean, so it was a real moving experience. The whole weekend was absolutely amazing.
What's his name? Do you remember?
Yeah, his name's Chris. Oh, what's his last name? I should find out.
I don't. I mean, it's fine if you don't remember his last name, but that's cool.
Yeah,
Chris. I mean, hats off.
Hats off.
That's really nice, Sarah.
Yeah, it was.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
Been through a lot of duds.
Thank you. Yeah. This is somebody who really knows me well, right?
Nice.
Yes. All right. Well, I have other fun things to tell you about today.
Hey.
Where do I want to start? Okay. This is great. This is the story about a woman named Nellie Bly, a.k.a. the original girl boss traveler.
Nellie Bly from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes!
Yeah. We're real proud of Nellie Bly.
I can't believe we haven't talked about her on this podcast.
It's so funny.
This is like should be a badass bitch of like...
You said it.
Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about this gal.
Him.
So she was born Elizabeth Jane Cochran, and this is 1864. A long time ago. She is considered one of the first investigative journalists. And she started her work when she wrote an angry letter to a newspaper about an article that was titled, "What Girls Are Good For." And the article suggested that women should just stick to housework. And she was like, "Oh,
go fuck yourself."
Could you imagine this? She was a brain candy brainiac before
for sure
it was even a thing.
Absolutely.
She walked so we could run, Susie.
She did.
100%. So this editor, which I love this editor, thank God for this guy. I'm sure it was a man because that's who editors were back in like 1902 or whatever. No, older. It was probably like 1864 was when she was born. So she's probably what, like 19 at the time? 18? Yeah. So like 1884, like, come on. So this editor was so impressed that he hired her as a journalist, and she started her work as an investigative journalist. And what really helped her like rise to fame was when she went undercover at a women's and this is what they titled, what it was called then, the Women's Lunatic Asylum on Blackwell Island. So at the time, this is when we had those like, insane asylums where people...
Now it's called reality TV.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
now
called
you're
Real
going
Housewives.
reality. Exactly. So she said, she was hearing these stories about how women were in these asylums, and a lot of them were not mentally ill.
They sure weren't.
So she goes, okay, I'm going to do something about this. And she checks herself into like a women's home. And at the women's home, basically acts crazy.
Yeah, I love it.
Acts crazy enough.
We could totally do this.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
she like...
it's kind of our bread and butter.
Right. She faked a mental illness, like, and enough to get her locked up or put in this lunatic asylum. And she spent 10 days inside there. And as soon as she went in, she snapped out of it and like dropped the act and was acting totally normal, because she wanted to see how are they going to treat her if they see symptoms of somebody who's totally healthy and fine. Horrifying conditions in there.
Yeah.
Patients were given rotten food. They were subjected to these ice cold baths until they were just like screaming. They were abusing the women, and so many of them were not even mentally ill. A lot of them were either poor or non-English speakers.
Wow.
And she gets out. There was I think he was a lawyer who worked for the newspaper who ends up being the one to get her out of there after 10 days. I'm sure she had it set up with him like, hey, come get me after 10 days, if you don't hear from me, if I don't get out myself.
Yeah.
And so she gets out, right? And she writes this expose titled 10 Days in a Madhouse. And because of this expose, tons of real reforms came to be.
Because people didn't know. Like,
right.
I know that there are societal feelings about women or people who act strange even if they are sort of mentally ill. that would make people a little bit callous to these conditions. But if people don't know, they can't even say how they feel about it.
Right.
And so she was like a whistleblower.
She was a big time whistleblower. She was speaking out and giving a voice to.
Think about the courage that required.
Oh, the bravery.
Yeah.
You are really risking your life if the stories are true.
Yeah.
And they were. You're going in there with.
We would have been in there fucking.
I'm never getting out. Please.
It's a miracle we're not in there now.
I mean, and that it was like all you needed. Husbands were throwing wives in there when they didn't agree with them.
For sure. Like, it's like you're either mentally ill or you have opinions your husband didn't like.
Right. You're an outspoken woman, and then they give him lobotomy, and
problem solved.
Problem solved. There you go, and just stick him in there. And so I think that this is. I nominate. There have been a lot of books and like even there's like a Christina Ricci like Lifetime movie that was based on this, and I am nominating this as a book club pick.
That's so cool,
and,
Sarah.
Yeah, because I really think that this is a cool thing to talk about, important thing to talk about, and the topic or subject of like fighting the system, and even from the inside, like that's kind of what I want to do on reality TV. Go in there and be like, hey, we need mental health support.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. And it's not to say we want to shut it all down. It's saying, like, let's make it healthy and functional.
Reforms.
Yeah.
To make it so we're helping people who need it and not hurting people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I have a friend named Virginia, and she used to have a blog called Pit Girl. She was anonymous back then, but now on Instagram she goes by Jane Pitt, like as in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. And she is a Nellie Bly enthusiast.
I love that.
She's always spreading the word about her, and it's that.
Oh my God, she could be a guest on in our book club and come and talk about her.
Yeah, because it's this feeling of like, see what can happen when you like put yourself out there a little bit. Yeah. And you can actually make change. It's inspiring. It
really is. And that was not all she did. She did so many other cool things. She was really inspired, Nellie Bly. She was really inspired by the book Around the World in 80 Days. So she pitched the idea to her editor. A man could do it, but I believe a woman can do it too.
Oh my God.
And so she only packed one bag and set out alone, no chaperone, no backup.
Oh my God.
Her and classic trip in some ways. Trip included lost luggage. Classic.
As it does.
Missing a boat by just hours. Very relatable.
Yeah.
And also adopting a pet monkey in Singapore. Maybe less relatable.
That's great. Did she really go around the world?
Yes, she did. She did it in 72 days.
Damn. Nellie.
She did it in 8 whole days faster.
You think she was a les? Probably, right?
I mean, I feel like any woman who is like, I'm got to wear pants and fuck all this.
Ideas.
I have ideas. Yeah. Yeah. It's like lesbian or just outspoken woman.
Wow. Good for her.
Yeah.
Tip of the hat. Badass bitch of the week, Nellie Bly.
Yeah. And there were a few other things that somehow didn't make it to my other list.
Take your time, Sarah.
Wait.
Sarah Lou. In the meantime, I'll tell you something that always makes my list, and that is freaking Rocket Money. Okay, I was just thinking about this recently because, you know, everybody's sort of going through their finances right now. It's that time of the year. But I was just looking at it and showing Adam some things like money coming in, money going out. Mm-hmm. And I was like so thankful for the way that I could easily visually show my husband, who is a very visual person, here's the situation.
Yeah.
And then also I had an expiring contract with a particular music provider coming up. And I wanted, you know how it'll like, when the period expires, then your price shoots up. it was like a particular period of time. You get the special price. And so I wanted them to negotiate and keep it at the price that it was. And they did.
Oh my gosh. I need to go back and do that.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, I don't want it to get hiked up. Can you sort this out? And they did. And it's like, I don't have to do it. I don't have to call and talk to some bozo who's like, wants to know why I'm.
And then and then you're like a people pleaser, maybe like me. So you just end up going, it's fine. You probably need the money. What?
So if you don't know about it, it's a personal finance app. They help you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, which I have many. They monitor your spending and help you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. And I have saved literally thousands of dollars using it. And it is a free app. 5 million users. They've saved a gazillion dollars. It's amazing. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions. Reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/braincandy today. That's rocketmoney.com/braincandy, rocketmoney.com/braincandy. I am supposed to say like actually what it says, which is they saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. I have saved more than that, so I don't know. Maybe I'm amazing, or I was just
I've saved more than that too.
Goddamn much.
Like
for
those
sure.
other people who are bringing down the average aren't using it to the
right. What were those bozos?
Right.
Okay, Sarah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. So some other notable investigations. It did not just stop with the asylum. She also did undercover work in factories to expose dangerous working conditions for women, and employment agencies to reveal how they scammed job-seeking women. I want to know more about that. Mm-hmm. I know there's a biography. Like, why? I want movies about her.
Yeah.
And she also went into prisons and documented abuse and mistreatment in prisons.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And then, this is also interesting. She married a millionaire, this guy, Robert Seaman.
She found a beard.
Yeah, totally. And a good one. In 1895, and then took over his manufacturing company when he died, and then became an inventor and secured a patent for an improved oil drum design.
Wow.
She invented a new fucking oil drum design.
That's outstanding.
Right. Unfortunately, she was not the best businesswoman, and the company went bankrupt. But
okay, well, we can't have it all.
We can't have it all. Right. You can't be the inventor.
What she was doing. What was she spending on?
She was busy, like, traveling the world. She was probably like...
Oh, so, yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She was vulnerable to bad actors, probably.
Yeah. And during World War I, she became one of the first female war correspondents reporting from the Eastern Front in Austria and covering the frontline battle. And she... journalism until her death. She died in 1922 from pneumonia at age 57.
Oh my God.
That's fucking young. She did all of that before she was even 60 years old.
I mean, that kind of makes me ashamed.
I know. Like, well,
be honest,
we got almost 900 podcast episodes.
We have some Signal awards.
You got look, I got an award.
Podcast award.
I got a picture of me drawn like the people from Bob's Burgers. I mean, you know,
it's not nothing.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, Nellie's an inspiration. That's really cool, Sarah. Thanks for.
And I wonder if she wrote like I just read a couple articles on her, but I want to read. I wish there were like her journals to read. Or some like biography. Well, yeah, because she reminds me a lot of my grandma. My grandma would tell me stories about how my grandma's husband was working on the Panama Canal. It was an engineer working on or architect, both working on the Panama Canal. And at the time, women were not, like wives were not allowed to join them. And she said, fuck that, I want to go to Panama. So from California, she hopped on a train and traveled by herself this must have been like, my mom was born in 57. It was before my mom was born. So this was probably like 1940 something. Mm-hmm. And took a train down through all of Mexico, Central America, made her way down to Panama and told me all about her journey along the way. And she said she had so much fun. She went dancing at the nightclubs and was the only like white woman, of course, dancing at these nightclubs. And I think those kind of trips made her see that people are the same no matter where you go. And my grandma was the kind of person who did not care where you're from, what language you spoke, you know, your economic like status. She just saw all people as people. And to me, that feels like the same kind of vibes as Nellie Bly. It feels like somewhere,
cool.
I'm going to cry. Somewhere up in heaven, those two gals are like lesbian couple.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
That's really cool, Sarah.
Yeah.
And I know what you're saying. That's a special type of person.
Right. So I love that. I think that, and I've recently been trying to get more into like memoirs and like biographies and stories like that. For some reason, for a long time, they didn't interest me. And now all of a sudden, I think from some things we've read in our book club, the Viola Davis book, I think, kicked it all off. I was like, oh, hearing about real people's stories is amazing.
Powerful.
Really powerful.
Yeah.
Really powerful.
That's why I love documentaries.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
And I was surprised that there were not, I went to look up because I wanted to add this to our list of, you know, potential book club, you know, subjects.
Our candy club. Yeah.
Our candy club stuff. And I was so surprised that there weren't really any good documentaries. A lot of like reenactment stuff that was older, but nothing about this woman's story. And that's insane to me.
Yeah, we have a lot about like fucking Hitler. And
Right.
I guess it's 100 years apart, though. I guess that's why, because of the difference in videos content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Although they certainly have plenty about Jack the Ripper.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can still do it. Stories, like, it feels like it's still important. They have archival, like, maybe not footage, but stuff from the asylums and
For
still
sure.
images.
Yeah.
And then you could talk to people. Like, I'm like writing the documentary right now.
Sarah's pitching this.
Right. I'm pitching it. So, you know, I just think that.
I hear you, sister.
But I do have questions
Justice
about that
for
monkey she
Nellie.
picked up.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck is going on there?
Or what?
Yeah.
I mean, they are cute.
Yeah.
like
But I can also
crazy
see my
chimp
grandma
lady.
doing that too.
Right.
Being like, I got this monkey.
It's fine.
You know? Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, people, we're just going to take a little break and talk about one of Sarah's favorite topics, self-care. And this show is sponsored by Liquid IV, and that is one of our favorite ways to get a little self-care on the go, because if you are like us, you understand sometimes it's hard to keep up with all the water that you need in your body, and Liquid IV makes it super easy because it's just a pouch of powder you can carry around in your purse or your car or wherever, and pour it into your regular water, and you're going to get hydrated at 2 to 3 times faster than you would otherwise. We have been partnered with Liquid IV forever, and that's because it's something we both have really loved for a really long time. We love the acai berry flavor. That's one of the OGs, but they're always innovating. They have the sugar-free raspberry lemonade now that's delish, but there's a million flavors. Something for everybody. So if you're going to the gym, if you're traveling, or if you just are like most people and not getting enough water, this is such a great solution. You will love it. And now they have a deal for you. Treat yourself to extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use our code CANDY at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code CANDY at liquidiv.com.
Okay. What else do I want to tell you? You like when I sing it? What?
You're so funny.
Why?
I mean, like you're totally original.
Well, I suppose.
That is what I know for sure.
Yeah.
You are singular. You are. That's why I remain. It's like we just met.
Oh, well, I like to keep you guessing.
You do.
Yeah, I don't know.
You do for sure.
Okay. This is a cool story. So, just recently, I want to say it was like this week or last week, we moved, and by we, I mean the United States, relocated 11 bison from Yellowstone Park that were moved to Fort Peck Indian Reservation in were moved from the Fort Peck Indian Reservation in Montana to Mosquito Grizzly Bear Head Lean Man First Nation in Saskatchewan, Canada.
That's weird.
I did not know about this, but in 2014, there was something called the Buffalo Treaty that was signed by Indigenous nations in the U.S. and Canada to restore bison to ancestral lands.
You mean to tell me we stole them all?
Suze, we stole them all and killed them all, for sure.
The bison?
Oh, yeah.
How do you steal bison?
Well, I mean, colonization and you know.
Wait.
Like
what are you saying happened?
We killed off the
Who's we?
The colonists back when we settled in America and drove the natives from their land and
I see what you're saying.
Stole it all.
Okay. I thought you were saying people in the lower North America, so the U.S., stole bison from Canada.
No.
Okay, yeah,
this
white
is like
assholes stole
white
bison
assholes
from
in the history of the United States.
people.
Yes,
Okay.
have drove out, basically messed up the entire ecosystem and the
Got it.
ancestral lands and how things
Yeah,
were.
we fucked everything up.
Oh, forever.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think we've recognized in some way, at least, that this is where those buffalo belong. And bison they have what they call a homing instinct, meaning they can travel long distances and then often
like
return
cats.
to those ancestral lands.
Yeah.
So it feels extra fucked up that there is this animal that has a migration pattern or goes to certain areas, and we've been keeping them from doing that because they've been kept inside.
How did they get down here, you think?
I mean, I don't know. Well, I do know a little bit.
Okay.
They were nearly wiped out in the 19th century due to overhunting and, just like westward expansion.
Yeah.
And then by the 1900s, only 500 remained in the wild.
For real?
That's it. And they were everywhere before. There were probably millions.
Where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're like up to here with deer and antelope.
Where'd the home on the range go?
Right.
No,
And they're releasing wolves back into...
Yeah, we've overcorrected with the deer.
We definitely have. And we're like, well, bring back some of the other stuff. Like, can we add some wolves to that song?
Trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So this treaty was about more than just what the hell is that word? Conservation. It was about like cultural renewal and really like the spiritual connection to the land that they have the right to. Mm-hmm. There was a quote from Leroy Little Bear, that's one of the treaty's founders from Blackfoot Nation, that says, "The return of the buffalo is the return of our spirit." And there's all this saying that says when the buffalo come back is when we will be able to like restore, our culture and our people. And so these bison took a 700-mile road trip.
Oh my God.
And it was real cute because like there were a bunch of people who came and drove with them and like welcoming them back home.
Oh my God. They're psyched out of their minds.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with those guys?
I mean, I would imagine
just let them hang
let
out.
them roam. Yeah.
Aww.
They traveled in these climate-controlled trailers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
VIP.
And they underwent disease testing to ensure that they were free of, anything that they could spread. And then when they arrived there, the indigenous leaders welcomed them and they did ceremonial songs and prayers. And, it was probably like...
Do you think they'll eat any of them? Or is that like...
Well, no, I do think they will because I think that they were in keeping with the...
Like the balance of...
Yeah, the balance. Yeah. Because it said that when I was listening to an interview from a member of, I think it was from the Blackfoot Nation, they were saying that so many Native people do not know, like had never seen a buffalo, never seen a bison anywhere in the zoo. They'd never touched one. They'd never tasted one. So they said they'd never tasted like eat buffalo meat. So I think that's part of, but it's not like they're going to take the 11 and slaughter them all.
No. It'll be like responsible stuff.
Conservation
really cool.
meets culture in a way. Like it feels like this is what we need to
How do you think they landed on 11?
I was wondering that too, Suze. I think that number might have something to do with how many you need to repopulate. Wouldn't you imagine?
Like just probably some sort of math equation.
That's kind of what it feels like. Like how many do you need to ensure that
10
you can
and 1 to eat?
that you could like have a mix of different like genetic material and how many offspring and how long it would take. There must be some like number to this.
Dang.
So,
I mean, that's the least we could do.
Right. And I just feel like it's kind of funny that it's easier for bison to cross the border now than
humans.
They're like
that's true.
Yeah.
Dang. It's a jungle out there.
It really is. Okay. What else?
I'll tell you, people need to join our candy club. I know that.
Oh, this month's I really enjoyed our most recent meeting that we had.
It was really
such a
nice.
it was kind of like a and if you missed it, you could go back and watch the video of it. It was kind of like an intro to Candy Club and also a refresher of like where we started and where we've come, how long we've been doing it, and just getting to hear the way that the Candy Club has like played a role in people's lives. And
I mean,
people were like, I've been through multiple breakups.
And like, don't you feel like what a great group? Because the theme was community and connection. And so like,
oh yes.
We were encouraging people to like reach out and try to like get out of their comfort zone. And like Tony, he did one of those silent book clubs.
Yes.
Where like he organized it at a coffee shop and people come and read, but they can be for like introverts where you don't have to like feel pressure to socialize. Then one gal, remember, she did the whitewater rafting group.
Yeah, for
women.
Ladies. Yes.
And they raised like thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And then we're over here just being like, yeah.
And it was so great that people were like, I need a community. And then just said, well, I'm just going to make one.
Yeah,
and then did it. And then we had other people that talked about how they tried doing things that, maybe weren't the ones to start the club or, community, but push themselves to be brave to put themselves out there. Yes. Queer speed dating. One of our listeners did that. It was like, I loved it. I thought it was it was a success like for her. She really got a lot out of it. Yes.
But it was like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah. And just sharing like ups and downs and like kind of showing people that all these scary things that you think, oh my God, I can't do. We all feel that way. Every now and then, different times about different things. And there are people who felt like that and then tried it and survived, and they could tell you about,
I feel like there are like maybe 5% of the population who doesn't get nervous and like has no like thing where they don't want to get up in front of people. And that 5% like kind of ruins it for everyone else, because then everyone else thinks, oh, most people don't mind getting up in front of people or whatever.
That's because those 5% tend to be the loud ones
so
too.
Loud.
And so we don't hear the other side of it. And even people who present in one way, like you'd think me, I got a podcast, I talk all day long.
Yeah.
I should have no problem. Oh my God, is it terrifying when I go do anything new. My first day at water polo, I was thinking, I'm surprised I even went in the pool. I was thinking, like, what are they going to do? I was thinking, are they going to like ask me how I identify, or I'm going to say, because it's a queer water polo team. Like, what if I'm going to have to like show my gay card or something, like, which is insanely like. It's such a normal thought to think, but feels crazy when I say it out loud. And I'm like, no, of course. And none of that happened and everything was fine. But we just think all these things. And it feels so good when other people share that they have the same thoughts. So we're all not alone in this.
They inspire me.
They sure do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you could always talk about our candy club. It's so freaking good. Have we thought about our theme for this month?
Well, so I bit the bullet because remember how in Candy Club they said, what about if we did all, or you may have said all the short film nominees
yes!
for Oscar? So I chose that.
Oh, I love that idea. I'm so glad you did. Yeah. Speaking of, did you watch the Oscars this year?
No.
Oh, it was, I liked it. It was, highs and lows. There were some things I didn't like.
The Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples, and there's a good reason for that. Only Sleep Number Smart Beds let you choose your ideal comfort and support on your side of the bed. Firmer or softer on either side. Sleep Number does that. Perhaps you want your side cooler, and your partner wants their side warmer. Sleep Number does that too. You choose what's right for you, making it the best bed for the both of you. The Sleep Number Smart Bed will even automatically respond and adjust to your movements to help you sleep comfortably all night long. Your smart bed will even learn how you sleep and provide you personalized insights to help you sleep even better. Why choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now, save 40% on the new Sleep Number Special Edition Smart Bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
Tell me what you think about this. So, what the heck is his name? Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Oh, yeah, Kieran. I know, with the wife.
Yeah.
And babies.
Okay, so he won for Best Supporting Actor, and he gets up there and he gives this whole speech about how, like, when he won another previous award, he said, like, made a deal with his wife. If I win this, then you got to give me baby number 3. And then kind of like,
and she's like, he's like, actually I wanted 4, and then she's like, I'll give you 4 when you get an Oscar, and then he got the Oscar.
Yeah, and so a lot of the speech was like, all right, time for baby number 4. I don't want to be like the person who's like poo-pooing this because she seemed happy and really excited about it and was like, kind of doing that no way, but okay, kind of thing.
Yeah, why does it give you the ick?
Why does it bug me? I didn't like hearing it. It felt like she's only a little bit in control of that.
Yeah.
And as somebody who struggled with infertility, there is, and a husband who wanted to have a baby, that pressure of like, well, you got to make the baby, is it. So I wanted to know if other people felt that kind of panicky feeling, because that made me feel a little panicky when I watched it. And I was like, I got to unpack this on the podcast or talk to Susie about this, because I wonder if she felt like that too.
I think in the end, I probably land on it's very cute and that they seem to be on the same page.
Yeah.
And that she keeps making these deals.
Right.
With him. So, like,
she pitched it. Right.
If she didn't like it, I think she probably would have told him, like, knock it off with this fucking baby talk.
Okay.
But that's assuming a lot.
Mm-hmm. I just like, wow, that I was the definition of triggered by that. And
really,
then came
Sarah?
In with all my own feelings, not, I had to like step back and say,
well, because she does have to go along with it. If she hated it and she's sitting there and the camera's on her, she can't reveal that.
Right.
So he does put her in that position, but I'm hoping that they have enough of a respectful relationship that he wouldn't do that otherwise. But
I'm like, damn, these men and these beautiful wives, and like,
yeah, she's so pretty.
Her, and then Adrian Brody too. Adrian Brody's wife is like,
well, you know who she is, right?
No, who is she?
Harvey Weinstein's ex.
What?
Georgina Chapman.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why he was like, the stepkids call me Popsy. It's like, oh, I hope Harvey doesn't hear this. It's like awkward.
Goodness. Okay, that's why he made that comment about the kids. And then, are they married? Okay, I didn't think so, because they're not wearing a ring either. I was doing a lot of
filling in the gaps.
Yeah, a lot of investigative.
Yeah, she's very pretty though.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And she was super pretty when she was married to Harvey, and everyone was like, "Ooh, how'd that happen?"
Yeah. Ugh.
He's such a dirtbag. Even if he didn't rape people, he's so gross.
Right, he's still gross. Ugh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I saw the movie Substance.
Okay. No bueno? Demi
I mean,
Moore.
I get what
Negative
we're doing
reviews
here. I get what we're doing. I think it's like an important piece that needs to be made, and in such an important subject matter, this idea of beauty fading and our relationship with this quest for eternal youth.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like over the top in a way where I was watching it towards the end. I'm like, what am I watching? What's happening
the end,
here?
People say it gets wacky.
It gets wacky. And
you didn't think it was a good like metaphor though, or whatever.
Yes, but I just wish it would dial back the wackiness just a little bit to be able to really like drive that message home and not make it a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But then it kind of it felt like in the end like death becomes her kind of jokey.
But maybe that's the point.
Maybe that
if
is
you
the
look
point.
at somebody really extreme, you know, like even Joan Rivers, who has so much work done that they become something other than themselves. And I don't begrudge them, like, you do what you want.
Right.
And like she was her own thing, but she wasn't Joan Rivers anymore. She was like this creation.
Okay. That's it. Yeah. And I think being out of that world, like being not living in LA for a while and not being on TV for a while, you forget how in it you can be and how much pressure, because there is not that pressure when you are living in Colorado and dating women.
I was just going to say,
Not one little bit. I do not care about the male gaze. There's no like.
You do care about the female gaze.
Yeah.
But the female gaze doesn't require that kind of effort. What does it require? In your estimation? I'm sure it's different depending on each person. But.
Like, are we talking? Well,
like, what do you
I think it's more action
for?
Based.
Okay, it's not visual.
Like, I don't think it's as much visual as it is nurture, care, and connection.
But what if you know how like everybody has that urge.
Type. Yeah.
So like if you're going into a les bar.
Yeah.
Right? And the premise is like I'm wound up.
Yeah.
I want to smooch.
Yeah, I want to smooch. Yeah.
What do you think they're looking for physically that you might feel you want to
I think there's such a wide range. I think that is one of the best things. I think in just queer
you can come
dating,
as you are still.
Period. Yeah. Well, no matter what, that when you get past societal expectations of gender roles and like gender presentations, then you can get into real like specific like things that you like that. I think is why there's like bear community. There's so many different names in like the gay community for different, what would you call it? Like not styles, but like types, like that, you know, some people. So I could tell you what I like, but that is so different than what the next person likes.
What do you like, Sarah? I actually don't know. I do not have any idea.
I like somebody who's athletic. I like
so they're walking in to like the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And they are looking like what?
I like shorter.
Mm-hmm.
I like somebody who maybe is like a little more like androgynous, but not like like maybe overly
like Brandy Carlisle.
Yeah,
situation?
I like somebody, but who's also still in touch with their femininity. You know, who like likes to.
What do they call those? Not mask.
Yeah, more like. You know, I like a cute little tomboy.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And somebody who looks like they could go camping with me and would.
Is there a celebrity that you have in mind, like Christina Ricci, someone?
I'm trying to think who the celebrities are that I think, oh my God, the one who I was staring at the whole time on, what's her name? Gal Gadot. Jesus Christ, she's so beautiful.
Yeah, the Leses love her.
And I know she's the opposite of everything I said. She's tall, and I wouldn't, I love it.
She's super feminine, yeah.
Yeah. But
tough,
she
though.
has, that energy that's, she got big dick energy.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. I like that.
I was just curious.
Yeah. But somebody who
You're more of a personality type.
yeah,
gal,
that's it.
Yeah.
There's more of it's like a nice smile.
My God,
And
that's
somebody
so nice,
who
Sarah.
has a good laugh. Mm-hmm. That's a big important one for me.
Yeah. Like our friend Tiffany.
Yeah. Oh my God, she
Shout out
is the
to
best
Tiffany.
audience. Nobody laughs better than Tiff.
Kathy Griffin's former assistant, Tiffany. You may have seen her on My Life on the D List, but we've seen her in our own life, and she is a hoot and holler.
Yes.
And we love her.
The best.
But yeah, some people just have that infectious, contagious laugh. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
And my new boo, that was what did. I saw a
She has a
picture of
good
her
laugh.
smile, and she's got a great laugh, and laughs with her whole body. I love that, and has a really, really warm smile. And it was her smile where I was like, oh, I want her to just smile at me all the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I just
Nice,
want to do
Sarah.
things
I'm
to make her
happy for
smile.
you.
It's so
All right, shut up about
gross.
it.
And yeah, I know. Right? Okay, I got one more for you.
Okay.
So this is funny because it was my boo who was watching an episode of The Kardashians, and she tells me, hey, are you familiar with that guy, Brian Johnson? And I go, oh, am I? What do you got? What is this? What is he saying this time?
So stupid, this guy. Let's give them a refresh on Brian.
Okay, so Brian Johnson is the man who is trying to...
He's a tech bro.
You know what? In the same way we were talking about how he's chasing youth, I think he's doing that. This is the male version of...
Oh my God, the substance, yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Right.
Why did I not even put that together?
Yeah, Demi Moore's getting fillers, but this guy's doing a friggin' bariatric chamber.
Yeah,
nightmare.
and treatments on his dick to make it like an
Treatments on
18-year-old
his dick.
erection, which is actually his quote. I'm not making this shit up. That's what he's looking for. He's like, they attach me to all these gadgets at night, and they let me know that I'm having the erection of an 18-year-old.
He's the founder of Braintree, which is this sort of like the PayPal for websites that you can embed in the back end of your website. But anyway, that's how he got rich. And then he went on this fucking weird ass journey for immortality it's totally driven by ego,
100%, and vanity and narcissism. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I want to live forever kind of thing. And
why was he on the Kardashians though?
They must have been doing some, they were having dinner with him or something.
God damn it.
Right. In this quest for youth that I feel
they just can't be stopped.
They can't. And it's how many times are you going to say that it's your last season? I feel like every fucking season of The Kardashians is the last.
It's like when Johnny said, take the money and run.
Right.
We're
you went
still
nowhere.
waiting.
The last season of this, and then you just
created
a new show?
Yeah.
That is not... You
lied.
You lied. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's on their show, and he says something along the lines of, Kim Kardashian says that his eyes are so white. Why your eyes are so white? Mm-hmm. And he says that the eyes are the only part of the brain that you can see. And I was like, what does that mean? You don't like it. You're mad about it. I at first I was like, is that bullshit? I have to look it up. Turns out he's absolutely correct. So the retina is a direct extension of the central nervous system, and it even develops from the same fetal tissue as the brain. Mm-hmm. And so when a doctor looks into your eye, they actually are seeing a part of your eye or part of your brain, which is why we use our vision, eyesight and people's how the eyes look in so many
it's like a way to tell, like it's a barometer, like are you fucking sick or not?
Yes. And even in like the mental health field, when I'm doing what the hell are they called? I do one every single, it's like a mental health
scan.
Yeah, it's like a check. There's a name for it that now I can't remember. But before, like the first time I see every client, I have to do like this mental health assessment that says like the state of their mental health and are they like oriented to place and time and, you know, and
every time?
Not every time. The first time to make sure that this is like an appropriate client. I mean,
I was like, fuck, I should have been like looking alert.
Or if you see, no, but it's only like if you see anything. And I
panic now.
It's you don't have to worry.
That's why I need a therapist. So like,
like don't worry about that. You're fine. No, and it's just saying like, okay, this person is in a healthy place to be able to engage in the therapeutic process and can make decisions for themselves and all that kind of stuff.
Great.
And you know, don't come in with any extreme like fears or emotion that isn't appropriate for the situation or circumstance or whatever. And you know, eyes and looking at eye movement, that is like an indicator. That's something I would look at. And if are they able to maintain eye contact?
Squirrely.
So even that can indicate what's going on in your brain or changes. Like, and there are so many different things that our eyes can reveal about brain health. Like retina changes can be an early indicator of Alzheimer's disease.
How so?
I don't know. That's all that my notes say.
Damn it. Sarah's always mad whenever I just am genuinely excited about your topic. Right. I don't expect you to know, but I'm just like, what? Do I have Alzheimer's? It's all like
I wish I had more.
Motivated.
Yeah, but it'll be like, what'll happen is I'll have like the original article, and then I'll have questions. They'll go, oh, let me see what else like the brain can reveal about health. So then I'll write down like bullet points, not thinking I need to then continue to research each one of those things within the bullet points.
What's Susie gonna want to know?
Yeah, I have to start thinking like that. Like, I need to know what that means. But some other ones that I just briefly wrote down, but don't have the actual information.
Don't get any ideas.
Optic nerve inflammation is a symptom of multiple sclerosis.
Wow.
Obviously, blurred vision, sudden loss of sight can indicate strokes or concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, Adam still has weird stuff with his eyes.
God. Yeah.
And he did get his MRI and they said he's okay. But
good.
He says he feels cross-eyed. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Ever since then. And like, man, it's amazing that you can get to look into the brain in that way, but it's also so mysterious still.
Yeah.
There are a lot of limits.
There are a lot, absolutely. And I think this one, my brother was talking to me about on our little trip. He said scientists don't know why, but they scanned, like, they used AI to look at thousands of different eyeballs, and AI can predict with 100% accuracy whether it's a male or female, but scientists don't fucking know why. What could that be, Suze?
What do you think?
I don't know. There's something in our eyes that say...
Well, something chromosomic.
Yeah. It's like, what are they seeing? And why don't they ask that AI that question? I had so many questions after my brother told me that. I was like you. I was like, well, why did they ask the AI, what are you looking at? Because shouldn't they be able to tell you?
Because I don't understand that, because it's not as if AI is independent from human intervention. It was created by humans.
Right.
So what
is
input
allowed
that AI to know?
Yeah, I didn't take notes on that. That was just a thing that I heard, but it made me, now I'm reminded of that. I'm like, oh, I got to look into that.
I'm going to look into that because I feel like that's fake news.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is like dinner conversation at the Rice House, so it very well could be.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was my little info on Brian Johnson maybe being right about something. I mean,
I think he's right about a lot. but his motivation is questionable. And also that, I know this sounds terrible because I don't wish ill upon anyone, but I do think if he were to develop some sort of problem, health problem, that it would be useful in...
I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, like...
That, yes.
I really...
In the same way, Michael J. Fox having Parkinson's is devastating for Michael J. Fox, but has been very beneficial to Parkinson's research.
Yeah. It's... Yes, that, and also that he is sort of... like his behavior in this sort of like engineering the perfectly healthy life where it's like we eat this at this time and we go to bed at this time and we inject this at this time and it's all chemical and blah, blah, blah. And it's simple math. And it's like if you follow this rubric, you can hopefully live a lot longer. And I like that idea on paper,
right?
But what it can do is the same thing that I hate about prosperity gospel, which is it can make you feel like you are in control more than you are, or that God is in control more than
100%.
And so then when someone does get cancer, that in prosperity gospel, that's an indication that you have not been faithful,
right?
And in Brian Johnson's case, maybe that you didn't follow some sort of health regimen. You did something that was not prescribed on his strict routine. Yes. When sometimes, like one of the Revolving Door Faith Club members, the political science scholar friend of mine and her husband, who are both revolvers, they just found out that their son has a brain tumor. He's like 19. He did nothing, right?
Right.
And so, but to Brian Johnson or perhaps to a prosperity person,
right,
that can be indicative of some sort of failure.
Right. You were exposed to this. You didn't take that. Right. I can totally see that. And that is not fair. And that is not accurate. Not one little bit. Right. I totally get what you're saying with that. That's a really important point to make. And I think something that we forget about. And
because it is, I like the idea of control. I like thinking,
we would all love that idea.
Right?
Please.
If you just do this recipe,
right,
you will live to be 110 or whatever and be in great health.
The accepting that things aren't in our control is like 80% of my business as a therapist.
Yeah.
That's like the majority of the work we have to do.
And that is hard work.
Oof.
For real. For the client and the therapist.
Yeah. It is hard because it does feel unfair. And you do, if we're sold this bill of goods that you just do this right, you just
sometimes
follow this recipe, then it'll be okay. And that is not always the case, and can set us up for big disappointment or making us feel like failures in some way.
Yeah. Then for most normal people, it comes down to do what you can.
Do what you can.
And let go of the rest. That's the serenity prayer.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's simple, not easy.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing.
Yeah. That's all I got for you today.
That was great. I loved it. Shout out to Nellie Bly. We love that bitch.
Yes, we do. And to the bison.
And the bison.
The bison are coming back, baby.
To Sarah's testosterone.
And to my testosterone. That's right.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.